Hi, this is Jason Wood, Editor-in-Chief of Power and Motor Yacht Magazine. I'm here with Executive Editor Captain Bill Pike. We're going to let you have a little glimpse into our typical conversations leading up to boat shows, where we talk about some of the boats that are going to be at the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show at the end of October and beginning of November, and we'll just let you in on what we'll talk about, see what you find out. How you doing today, Bill?
Well, not too bad, given what I've got to work with. How about yourself?
I see you're already wearing your boat show uniform.
Yeah, I'm primed and ready, Jason. Primed and ready.
That's what I like to hear.
Yep.
We got an exciting show coming up.
We do.
There's a lot of great new product coming along.
Yep.
You mentioned you had some boats you wanted to talk about.
I think I've been to 26, this will be my 26th Lauderdale Boat Show. And I'm always excited to go. And this year I guess there are 3 boats that I'm really interested in looking at. One of them is a brand new boat, that's the Back Cove 37. The other 2 were introduced recently, the Krogen 58 and the Nordhaven 76. The Back Cove, it's just a fabulous little boat with a very kind of standard, very workable, usable, comfortable layout. And it's got a single engine, and I love the single engine configuration. It's economical, and you team it up with a couple of thrusters or even one thruster, and it's very maneuverable. This boat's got a 20-knot cruise, which is pretty darn good for a single engine boat. And the last thing I like about it is the galley is right across from the helm station. And if you've got an autopilot on a little boat like this, you can set the autopilot, you can keep track of what's going on in front of you, keep a good lookout, and make yourself a sandwich. And that, I'll tell you, it's a little thing, but if you're a feeder like myself, it's important.
It's the little details, isn't it?
It's the little things that count.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
So what are you looking, what's going on, what are you looking to see at the show?
Well, I was interested to check out that Gran Turismo 49 hardtop.
Right.
Beneteau has been on a tear the last few years in rolling out new models. And this Gran Turismo, the line used to be called Flyer GT for them.
Yeah.
They renamed it last year. The 49 is the same hull, I believe the same hull as the Flybridge version that you and I, along with senior editor Kevin Koenig, brought up the New River when they introduced the model in the U.S. market. Excited about the, just another awesome use of IPS in a really accessible, this line is one of the more accessible price point lines, and I think this boat's coming in around $900,000. Mm-hmm. But for a 49-footer, you're going to have all kinds of space in an express layout with a huge sunroof and that hardtop. I'm really excited to check it out.
Yeah. And the Nordhaven 76, have you that was introduced a couple of years ago. Have you seen that boat by any chance?
I think I know the one you're talking about. It's pretty salty, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what I really love about it. And it's if you look at that boat and compare it to their new 120, the one that made the trip from China to Vancouver, British Columbia, many thousands of miles, that was her maiden voyage. They look similarly. They've got aft superstructures, big, a big foredeck with cranes or a crane, and they keep the shore boats on there. And it's just, it's a boat that would take a person anywhere in the world.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
I like the way you think about that.
Yeah.
The other boat that I want to talk about is that Lazara 64. Yeah. I mentioned this boat to you because I was really interested. Again, the IPS propulsion is a huge winner on this boat because it's got these larger IPS3s on it that it really dig in slow speeds. And they've got it set up so that you can be on the side deck and reach through the side window at the helm station to run the boat. There's not a door through, per se, to the side deck from the helm, but there is a nice big window, so you can sort of sit your hip on that windowsill, have your hand on that joystick, and run the boat on that starboard helm station. Yeah. There's also a control, a binnacle joystick in the cockpit too, so you can dock from that side on the other side, on the port side. So you can do your slow speed maneuvering from that point too. I just like the options. It's a great layout. 4 staterooms, roomy as you've ever seen. I mean, you walk into that midships master, and you've got a big hunk of floor space right there. And that's what I feel like people give up when they decide to go boating. It's like any kind of floor space. I mean, you could be doing your push-ups in here. There's enough room in that master stateroom. Yeah. Not that you need to, Bill.
Thank you very much. I remember testing at the end of a sea trial of a version of that boat, a 64 Lazara. I can remember backing it into a slip using the IPS control in the cockpit. And the slip was a little tricky in that there was an obstruction on as you were backing into it, would be on the port side of the boat. So you had to kind of back in, then move over, back in the rest of the way, and then come back. It was a long slip. And I just remember, it stuck in my mind, I love handling boats like that. And that boat was extremely maneuverable. I'm guessing with those big IPS units, this thing will be even more maneuverable than that.
It's when we talked about when you push it in a certain direction and you really push it, you that torque in there, and it's just nice to know you're digging in. You're not like gonna get blown around in the wind, or a bad current or something. So
now I hate to go back, to drag this conversation back to the single engine venue. And the blue water venue, but I'm really looking forward to taking a look at the Krogen 58. I was fortunate enough to be on a delivery crew that we brought a 48, I believe, up from Florida up to Annapolis a couple of years ago. Really, really, it's just most Krogens have a kind of a similar layout. There's this big, fairly good sized saloon, and then you've got typically a U-shaped galley, and then a separate, like a dedicated wheelhouse up forward, protected by a Portuguese bridge. And you got your accommodation level down below, sometimes with an office. I mean, you could, it's kind of a dream machine for a guy like me. I mean, I could, if I could talk my wife into it, I would live on such a boat and be extremely comfortable.
Bill, I got to tell you, though, every time I talk to you, I got to worry about my cardiologist told me to stay off the salt. And my blood pressure's shooting up with all the sodium coming out of your mouth right now.
Your blood is worth bottling.
I love to hear you wax poetic about blue water cruisers, though. Yeah. It's always music to my ears, and I'm sure you'll get a kick out of that 58 at the show. The last boat that I wanted to talk about is that new Regulator 25.
That's a beauty. I agree with you on that one.
It's a nice looking boat. It's that heavy hand-laid construction that they do so well.
Yeah.
It helps the running attitude of the boat, and they've got this 25 has the Armstrong bracket, which Regulator has really made some hay with in some other models.
Yeah.
They mounted 2 F200C Yamahas, which are the new in Miami last year, new in Miami this year, I should say. 4-cylinder, 4-stroke. So they're smaller. You know, this boat hit 53 miles per hour during our test. And I just love the way this boat handles. It's a modified V-hull, just a classic good-looking center console. All the tubular stuff is powder. The boat I was on is all white powder coated. It all just matches. Mm-hmm. It's a good looking boat with a real usable layout. This one had the tackle center and the leaning post. And, you look at this leaning post and you see how it feels kind of narrow when you look at it. It's
right.
4.5, not a very large leaning post, but it's got everything you need in there, and it doesn't eat into the cockpit space.
Yeah.
So it's a really nice setup. And, boy, I'll tell you, on a nice September afternoon, nothing better than getting out on Long Island Sound on a boat like that, enjoying the weather and the beautiful 1 to 2 footers. And we had to look for wakes to give that hull a run around, but it was good fun.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to test. I can't remember exactly. It was a little bit larger regulator than that in Norfolk, Virginia, some years ago, and it was in the wintertime, and the water was a little, maybe 1 to 2 feet, but that boat just ran like a scared rabbit. It was just so much fun to drive. It was just, it was like just purest fun to drive that boat, particularly on a long straightaway. Just lovely.
Yeah, you look over your shoulder and see that wake you could draw a line with. You know, it's just ruler straight. I love it. I love it. They track like they're on rails. Yeah. It's great.
Well, the Lauderdale show coincides with a holiday, typically.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. Yeah. Halloween, it's my favorite holiday.
What are you going to be this year, Bill? What do you think?
Well, what I am every year. Hold on just a second.
Oh, gee, there's a surprise. Captain Black Bill the Pirate. I love it.
We'll see.
You be sure to wear those colors proudly, and you keep that hat on, Bill. We're gonna have a great show.
Absolutely, I think we'll enjoy it.
Looking forward to catching up. Thanks very much.
Take care, Jason.
For Power and Motor Yacht Magazine, this is Editor-in-Chief Jason Wood and Captain Bill Pike, our Executive Editor. We'll see you at the boat show.